The sun is obviously the heat mode.
Right.
It's not so obviously. The next one is just fan, because fan is a mode.
What does fan look like?
It's just the wheel, the fan blades.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Okay, that's the fan. Yes?
Yes. That's the
Okay,
fan.
hold on a sec.
So fan's not cooling, it's just moving air.
Fan is just moving air, and fan is a mode.
And that is,
Well, no, you're in. Okay, you're in this button down here.
Yeah.
So there's the dry mode.
Yeah.
That's the snow. That's the cooling mode.
yeah,
The heating mode. And there's your fan.
and that's the fan. And why do I want the fan mode if I'm dealing with the fan somewhere else?
Well,
Up here.
see, this is what I was alluding to. The top button for fan is fan speed only. It's not has nothing to do with the mode itself. The fan speed is controlling it in all of the different modes. I can control the fan speed in every mode that I got a choice for.
Okay, so your mode is like the top menu, then you drop down to control.
But that's why they've got hitting, because typically speaking, you're not going to be changing the mode all the way around.
Okay.
You just got to change the temperature and the powerful part.
So in the summer, what, you want the snowflake mode?
Yes.
And then in the winter, do you want the
sun?
The sun, okay.
Okay.
And that's the fan.
And so we don't need the fan mode here. We can operate it with the fan button. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly.
Yeah.
You can operate the speed of the fan button.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
The fan mode is a mode. When you hit the fan mode, it's going to stay. If I have this one, matter of fact, this is important. If I hit the fan mode and I'm pointing to this unit right here, and I go to turn that unit on over there, in cooling, it's not going to do anything because I've got the first unit that I turned on, the priority unit in fan. Okay. If I turn this one on in heating, heating will override the fan and put it in the heating, but it won't let it go into cooling. It won't let it go the other way around. So fan is a mode. Just be careful if you get this set in the fan. I mean, we've gone to places that can't get the units to work, and it's because they locked the first unit into.
So the priority unit is the one you deal with first.
Is the priority an issue? A lot?
No, I think at first it was, but I think that things have started to.
Do we understand?
Yeah.
Do it again for me.
Priority is basically just the first unit you turn on is the unit that's going to rule the rest of them.
73 degrees, whatever we turn on, that's the priority unit.
That's the mode. Yes, that's the priority mode.
No matter what room you're in, once you
It
go
can
into
be any. It can be any
all
one. It can be
units
the,
are.
it can be the first one you turn on. That's that's kind of.
So for having control, the first thing you should do is turn everything off.
Yeah. If you have an issue and you can't remember which one is which, turn them all off.
So if I have 5 units because I have upstairs, downstairs.
Yes.
So I assume I have 2 compressors.
You have 3 and 2. Yes.
How do I know which? I think I know which one they are because some of mine weren't working. So I'm thinking my kitchen and my master bedroom is one compressor. How do I determine that?
Put one on. Put the master bedroom on in heating, and then go turn on the other unit in cooling and see if it blinks, and you will know that that's trying to follow the other one. Okay.
So the blinking unit is the one that's following.
That's waiting for the other mode to release.
Right.
Yes.
So if you put this at 73 degrees, whatever you put it at, and it's cooling.
Yep.
And then you go over to that one. You can put it at a different temperature.
You can put it at a different temperature, and you can put it in heating, but it'll there in blank to tell you it's in standby. But you can put. Oh yes, you can always have different units at different temperatures.
But if you put it in the heat mode, it's not going to respond.
It's not going to heat until the cooling one reaches its
temperature. Then that will go on.
That's right.
But will that one cool? So you put them both in the cool. So say
if you put them both in the cool, they're both
run,
and they're both running their own temperatures.
Their own temperature.
And so there's enough capacity to run both units at the same time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And they'll run the different. They can run different fan speeds.
Different fan speeds, different temperatures. They're completely independent, with the exception of the mode.
So priority
with the exception of
one thing that.
Yes.
So are you saying that if you want that bedroom at 50 degrees, you want this at 70 degrees, this will stop at 70 and that'll go to 50, but if you want that heated to 100 degrees and this cooled to 50 degrees, that has to get to 100 degrees before it'll cool to 50?
That's exactly, if you turn that one on first.
Okay. And what's the realistic range of these units?
Well, first of all, 64 to 78.
64 to 78?
Yeah.
What was the question?
The realistic range.
You used what you used for a perfect example for 2 extremes. I said, what's the actual realistic range that we actually get?
Yeah.
So
64 to
64?
78.
Yeah, you can get up, you can definitely get up into the 80s in heating, but the reason we say that is because they won't cool lower than 64 degrees because then it starts
They'll
playing all
freeze
kinds
up
of
because
games.
of the ambient
Yeah.
temperature,
It's
and
just-
that can be a problem in Maine when the nighttime temperature air
Right.
actually does get cold,
Mm.
and people keep cranking their air conditioning down really low,
Mhm.
and then you can freeze stuff
It just
up.
doesn't do any good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why they limit it on mini splits, and then, you know, in the heating mode, if it's warmer than 78 degrees outside, they won't heat anyway. It
It
just,
depends.
walk out, just like they do in
Pretty
now,
intelligent.
from a property management standpoint, there are dip switches on all these outdoor units, okay, that you can
Okay.
actually lock in a particular room for the priority unit. So you're always gonna have to change the mode on that unit there. Okay?
That would be helpful and have it marked like with the,
If that
some sort of
becomes an
sticker.
issue, I mean, most of the brands out there, that's the way that you have to do it, you don't have the choice.
Mm-hmm.
What we have found over the years is most people prefer the choice once they understand the way that it works. Because they don't want to have to keep, you know,
Right.
always going back to that same unit. If they know that it's off, they can change the priority. If the unit's off, you can change the priority.
So if you think you've gotten everything mixed up, probably the best thing to do is just turn
Turn each of them off,
Yep.
and then start with the
Yes.
one you're most
Yes.
concerned with, go to the one you're next
Yep.
concerned with.
One of the reasons that we have, that there are beep tones on the Daikin units is because if we get on the phone, we've had people drive 40 miles for service calls before because an issue is locked in priority and they can't get it going, and it's a new installation and they didn't explain the priority. Some of them didn't even know how it works, but if you've got an issue with the priority and you're talking to us on the phone, what we're gonna do is we're gonna tell you to turn them all off and then turn them all one at a time. We can tell what you're doing based upon, you know, the beeps,
Yeah.
because the phone picks it up really nice. Plus with troubleshooting error codes. Now, I will tell you that a quick green flash means it's in an error. There is a distinct difference between a priority, a very slow blink,
Yeah.
okay, as opposed to the fairly quick, you know.
trouble.
The
Flashes.
problem is if you got a rapid blinking, they're probably gonna be blinking on all the ones attached to that condenser. So,
Okay.
okay, and that's when you've got to, you know, call those over to, it's still granted for your.
Granite court, yeah.
So, and, you know, they, on the phone, will probably say, well, what I'd like you to do is, you know, because we can check error codes, you know, and there's a cancel button. If I hold on a cancel button for 5 seconds, I can put it into a troubleshooting mode, and then you just hit the cancel button repeatedly until we hear a double beep, okay? And that tells us sort of what the issue is, and sometimes that can just be a simple reset or, you know, save everybody a lot of time and trouble. But that's why everything beeps, is so that we can hear it on the phone. Probably more than you need to know, but it's.
That's good.